Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who's new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is going to be another collaboration video with Wrapunzel. That means that yesterday when you see this, you saw already a video, my regular Monday upload for Wrapunzel, which was the launch of my Wrapunzelista tag that I recorded with Yehudit Clark, and that was so much fun. And in that video, which I'm going to link in the cards if you haven't seen it yet, so maybe you should watch that one first. In that video I told you that I will go ahead and sit down and answer my own questions. So this is what it is today, what we're going to do today, and this is sort of a bonus video because then I'm going to go back to doing tutorials. But I thought while I was creating the questions together with Yehudit, I thought I would really like to answer those questions too. So that's what it's going to be today. And besides that, I just want to quickly tell you what I'm wearing on my head. So this is the extra long t-shirt scarf in purple, which I think is a really nice one because it is a cold purple, and I love that. I love all kinds of purples, obviously, but I love cold purples very much. So anyway, and this is it's wrapped in just a regal wrap and nothing really special or fancy, and I'm wearing a Cloud9 shaper, and on top of the t-shirt scarf I am wearing the Dreams Come True scarf in multicolored. Yeah, and that is just sort of a crisscross thing. I really on purpose wanted to keep it really simple and sort of a no-nonsense kind of a thing because I have been working so many fashion shows and I'm in the middle of final exams. I have like 4 exams in 2 weeks, and my husband is overseas traveling for 2 weeks, and I have still guests in my house, and it's crazy. So I feel like I need this simple, small, I need this to declutter my brain and to just be a little bit more, I don't know, together, you know what I mean? That's what I feel right now. So that's why I'm wrapped small, even though it feels weird. I always feel like half of my head is missing, but it sort of feels good, you know. For today it feels good for me. Anyway, so without further ado, with all of this big story, let's go right into the answering of my own questions. Okay, first question, why and when did you start wrapping? So I started wrapping when I got married. In Orthodox Judaism, that is what happens when you get married. You start wrapping, or at least you start covering your hair, usually, in whatever way you're going to do this. Some people wear hats, some people wear wigs, some people wear wraps. And I actually married into a family where wearing wraps is not the custom. And I was the one who broke the custom, you know, who brought the wrapping in. Because the first year of our marriage, I broke myself, like it almost broke my spirit. I wanted to cover my hair, but I did not feel good with hats. I did not feel good with like caps, and I don't know. It was just not me, but I felt I was supposed to be that way because that is the custom of the family. And then at some point I just tried it. And that's how it started. So that all was like, I got married at the end of 2004, and then I think by summer 2005, something like that, I started wrapping. And of course in the beginning it was very simple, and actually for many years it was very simple. So yeah, but it was all a journey, and only I think now in this last year that I had with Wrapunzel, or even before I started my collaboration with Wrapunzel, when I was just joining the Wrapunzel community group, that is actually when I started to see that there is so much more inside of me, and there is so much more in this whole wrapping community that I had no idea, you know. I think I'm gonna take off this earring because it keeps hitting my necklace and it's really annoying. So anyway, so that's what it is. I started wrapping in 2004, and that's the answer to the question. Question number 2, how did you find Wrapunzel? So I found Wrapunzel by accident, and that was the following story. I was invited to a fundraising dinner when Rudy Giuliani came to Jerusalem in May 2018. And we went, my husband and I went to this fundraising dinner, heard him speak and everything. And after that, all the men, like, because it was an evening, obviously. So after that, all the men went to pray the evening prayer. And we women, we were standing outside, some with their small babies. And I was just standing there waiting with my husband, waiting with the other women, sorry, for my husband to come back out so we can go back home. So there was a woman standing there, a young woman holding a baby, and I was just smiling at the baby, and you know how it is. So we started talking, and then she said, I have been looking at you like the whole evening, and I think you would be the perfect person for the Wrapunzel group. Do you know the Wrapunzel group? And I said, who? I had no idea. So she showed me, we pulled out the telephones, and she showed me the Wrapunzel community group. And the same evening or the next morning, I sent in my request to join the Wrapunzel community group, and the rest is history. I think the dinner was on a Thursday evening, and on that Friday I posted my first picture in the Wrapunzel community group, and I couldn't believe within, I think, 2 hours I had something like 200 likes, and that has never happened before. Nobody ever has liked me that much, and all these comments, and everybody was so excited, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is happening, you know? And yeah, so that was so amazing, and that's how I found Wrapunzel, by accident, because someone told me about that. And yeah, so I'm so grateful, because I do believe that there are no accidents in our life. Everything is planned by God, and yeah, so that was all meant to be, and I'm so happy that this door opened for me. Okay, question number 3. What are your thoughts about the Wrapunzel community group on Facebook? All right, so I have already touched up a tiny little bit on that, because the outpouring of love and support already on my first post was amazing, absolutely amazing. I could not believe what hit me, really. So, and I do feel that it is such a positive place to be, such an encouraging place to be, and such a place for inspiration, you know, because I do get a lot of inspirations from seeing the pictures of the ladies there on that group, even though maybe they are not that out there, or not like Leorah style or something, but it doesn't matter, because no matter what you see in your life, if it is in wrapping or if it is in anything else, everything is an influence, and everything speaks to your soul. Some things more, something less, but I get inspired a lot, even by monochromatic looks that other ladies do, which is usually not what I do at all, but sometimes I just feel it, you know, I just need to have that for myself, and it feels so good for me to see it, and to see where other people, you know, what other people do. And also what is an amazing feedback for me is when people recreate my looks that I'm doing tutorials for, or that I came up with, or things like this, or with my Leorah kit. And I think this is super inspiring and encouraging also for me to like dig deeper and to go further and to just, you know, go the extra mile. So I think it's an amazing place for creativity, for support, for picking each other up, because there are also people who are sharing tragic stories, you know, where they have been, I don't know, not treated well because they're wrapping or something like this. So I'm in a place where everybody is covering their hair, basically, more or less, you know. So I personally, thank God, cannot relate to being excluded or not being treated well because I'm wrapping. So this adds a whole lot of depth for me to hear those stories and to feel for these fellow queens. Yeah, so that is more or less my take on the Wrapunzel community group. Question number 4. What are your top 3 shapers? So I think this will not come as a surprise to anyone that the 3 biggest ones are my most favorite shapers, obviously. I think if I would have to rank them, it would be first of all the Wendy shaper. That is my comfort zone 100%. Then I would say the Oberpoof. I love wearing the Oberpoof both ways, like pointing up and pointing down. I love the looks it creates, but I cannot wear it all the time because it's massive. You know, it's massive. I love the look, but it is massive, and especially now in a time in my life that is super stressful, I cannot always take that. So that would be the second one, and then it would be the Cloud 9, I would say. These are my 3 top shapers. In my own private life, I do not wear a signature shaper or ultimate shaper. Like anything smaller than Cloud9, I don't really wear. And rarely the Cloud9. It is usually, I would say like 90% of the time I'm wearing the Wendy shaper, like even when I'm not on camera. What are your top 5 scarves is question number 5. Okay, so I had to write this down because I'm so bad at names. Anyway, so I would say, and this is not in order of importance, this is just in general, okay? So the bold stroke scarf definitely is one of my favorites. Right now it is sold out. I hope it's gonna come back. I'm gonna try to include pictures of what I'm talking about, so you know what I'm talking about. So bold stroke scarf definitely in my top 5. Then the playful patchwork scarf, also sold out right now as of when I'm filming. I hope this is gonna come back too, because these are drool worthy scarves, I'm telling you. And you have seen me working with them, so it's not a surprise. I love them. Then the Million Dreams scarf. I do not own this scarf. I just saw it on the website and it looks like this. I love this. Love, love, love. I want this so bad. So anything that has wild patterns, a multitude of colors, that is, for me, it's abundance. It's abundance. I want abundance in everything in my life, you know? So that is what gives me everything. I love that. And tassels, I love tassels, like, yeah. So these 3 scarves I really, really love. And then there is the original tapestry scarf. And I have done a wrap with the original tapestry scarf. I think it was the coronation wrap. I'm gonna link it in the cards here. The coronation wrap, and especially the second look that I did, or was it I don't know if there were 2 or 3 looks in that video. I don't remember anymore. But it was, I love this scarf. It was like I tied it from the bottom up and then I just twisted it and curled it in a bun here. I love this. And this whole thing about the tapestry scarf is already the name, tapestries. It propels me to, like, into a castle, into a throne room, into royalty, the royal kind of a setting. Tapestries, that's royalty, right? I mean, and these scarves are so beautiful. They have this elaborate but still easy elegance about them. English is still, yeah. Good that I'm not talking about my English skills, but about scarves, so that's okay. I love the tapestry scarf. So it is maybe not the right scarf for summer months, at least not in my country, but I cannot wait to wear it again once it gets a little bit cooler. So really, really love this one. And then place number 5, I want to give to the harmony scarves and the sari scarves. And I sort of feel that they should share a place because they're sort of in the same idea. You know, I love these fringy ends, and I love that they have those layers that and the mix of patterns and the mix of colors and the variety and everything. You can do so much with this, and I love this. And it adds so much volume without being heavy, and I love those scarves like so much. Yeah, so those are my top 5, I would say. Question number 6. What are some of your favorite color combinations in wrapping? First of all, I allow myself to not limit myself. I love that. I love that I stepped out of the frame of, does it have to fit to my outfit? Does it have to fit to the occasion? Does it have to fit to my job? Well, my job is styling and all of this, so I'm lucky that I can do whatever I want. But anyway, I love to free myself of stuff, and sometimes even on purpose go the other way and do stuff that is unexpected. And while it is sometimes a little bit exhausting then to deal with the looks that I get from people on the street, because the people don't know what you're doing. They think you're dressing up for a masquerade or something. But and I cannot always take that. Like today I needed this because I did not want to draw any more attention to my wraps today because of what I told you in the beginning of the video. But most of the time I just feel that this is such a place for expression that I just want to burst in every way, in colors and patterns and in everything. So with all of that being said, I love the color combination, for example, orange and pink, or red and purple, or blue and green, or purple and yellow, or purple and green, or even black and red, or I don't know, you know what? Black and white can also look really, really exciting and fancy. So I can't, this is probably a question where I cannot really put my finger on an exact kind of a color combination, because really I love to be all over the place, and I also love to wear scarves like the first 3 scarves that I mentioned in my top 5 that themselves have a lot of color, different colors. Actually all of them have a lot of different colors within them, so there are already so many color combinations within one scarf that it is like my brain is exploding with ideas when I see those scarves. So that's sort of the answer for this question, even though I'm not really saying this is my favorite one, because there are just too many. All right, next one is question number 7. What are your favorite wraps or wrapping styles? So I am very, very bad in remembering names of wraps, especially my own. I have no idea. The only one that I remember is the Regal wrap, and I didn't come up with that. So I love everything that has like a poofy thing up here, either a bun or a ribbon or some kind, or the nest, you know, the tutorial for the nest. I love this one. I'm gonna leave that in the cards as well. I love those kinds of wraps, and I also love, you know, this whole series that I did for my daughters, or in the name of my daughters, which was like the Shelly wrap and the Kiki wrap and the Mulkey wrap, all of those, and the spin-offs of those wraps. I love those as well. I think these kinds are my favorite, and of course also the side ruffle wrap and the spin-offs of that, like everything that is special. I love that so much. So those are my favorite kinds. Question number 8. What was the most endearing or encouraging response to your wraps from the general public? Again, I cannot say that there was one thing. I don't know. I don't think people really react much to me besides staring. Sometimes it happens that people come up to me and comment on my makeup, or in general on my whole look and styling, that it is so colorful and it's so happy and they've never seen anything like this, and like, what am I doing? What is my job? Or things like this. But that is then, I think, more commenting to the whole package deal. Really, to my wraps, people do comment, but it is more like this, wow, you know, kind of a thing. It's not something really endearing where, like what Yehudit told you yesterday, where the little kid was smiling at her and beaming at her, and maybe that happens, maybe it did, but I just didn't notice it. So people do ask me about my wraps, but it's not, I never actually had a situation like Yehudi told us yesterday, that there was like a child that was totally in love with me because of my wraps. I wish. So to answer this question, I don't feel like I have a specific situation. It's more like an overall wonderment when people look at me, I guess. And sometimes though, really people come up to me and like compliment me on my looks, but like I said, it is more like the package deal, I think, because they never point out exactly the wrap. It's more like the whole thing, you know. Yeah. All right, so question number 9. How does your husband or spouse support you on your wrapping journey? My husband did not ask me to wrap. He never required me to cover my hair at all, except for when we go and pray. That was my choice, and I think this is the point that makes it good for me, because I was never forced into it, and he always let me do whatever I want. Of course, like I already said in the beginning, his family comes from wearing, like from the direction of wearing hats. And I remember that first conversation that we had in the car on the way to our workplace where I used to work, when I told him that I want to start wrapping, and he was on that day not too thrilled about it, because it sort of broke the family tradition, and he's a very traditional person. But I was not to be, how do you say that? I was not to be swayed. you know. I didn't want to go any other way because I still had to be me, and he understood that very quickly, and it was fine, you know. Plus, it is so much less expensive to buy an abundance of scarves than to buy hats. So I think we had gain in a lot of ways there. And I also love it, for example, when I'm traveling and I just, you know, have, I don't know, 20 scarves in my suitcase, and you don't have to travel with a hat box, and you have such an abundance in different wrapping possibilities in all of those scarves. And if you were to travel with a hat, then you just have one hat, right? So I love to have all the opportunities and all the possibilities. So with all of that being said, he is super supportive, and he loves it. He has grown to love it. He's very proud of me, and he thinks it's really, really pretty. Though sometimes when I hug him, he pretends to be strangled or muffled or suffocated by my shapers. We have this whole thing going on, and he's always trying to make me laugh. So yeah, but he is very, very, very happy and satisfied with this whole thing, and he's very supportive. So question number 10, what have you learned from Leorah when it comes to wrapping? So I think really that this is my most interesting question for me to answer it myself, because it feels so weird to ask myself this question, but there is so much in this, because I actually learned a lot for myself. I learned that I'm so much more than I thought I was, you know, and that I can do so much more, and I can take so much more, and I'm so much closer to what I believe and where I stand and what I feel through all of this. So this is actually something that I did not have. I didn't own it, you know. I was trying to reach for it before, but I didn't know where to reach to, or where it would come from. And through this whole journey now, with the collaboration with Wrapunzel and slightly before, I just feel like this was the start of something really, really new, of a new Leorah. You know, this whole thing with me being a queen and having this whole hang up with royalty and being a queen, and that we should all feel like queens and live like being queens. This is something that I had in my heart, but it had not broken free yet. And I feel that this is what I learned from myself in this last year, that actually what I was saying before I even started to believe it or live it myself, it became true in this whole year. You know, I'm actually believing this now. I'm believing that I'm a queen, and I'm living like I'm a queen, and I want to be treated like I'm a queen. And that doesn't mean that I'm being pampered or that I'm not working hard. It doesn't mean that at all. I also don't need to be served right. So it's just this attitude of, wow, I'm royalty, and I can wear my shoulders back and my chest out, and I'm gonna stand straight, and I have my chin up, and I'm going to look at eye level at other people, not looking down, but I also don't need to look up, because I'm the queen and I deserve to have my place. So this is really what I learned from Leorah in this last year. Yeah, in wrapping, in makeup, in everything, you know. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. And then question number 11, what one piece of advice would you want to share with the ladies from your heart to theirs? So my ladies, my one piece of advice is live it. Live it. You know, put it on with confidence. Put the colors on with confidence. And if you want to wear nude colors, because that is the style that you live and that you feel, then put it on with confidence, and try not to hide behind it, but put it on as your crown, because your crown can be in neutral colors. It's totally fine. Just because I'm wrapping like the way I do and I have my color preferences doesn't mean at all that anyone else has to do it, even though I love that people get inspired to be more bold, because I do believe at the end of the day that the world needs it, because I love it and I want to spread that sparkle. But if you don't believe that this is you, then that is totally fine, and I just want to encourage you to find whatever style you're most comfortable with and just wear it as a crown with confidence and with love and with devotion and with everything that is within you. You know, whatever is your style, whatever wrap you want to wear, and even if it's the simplest thing, if you wear it with your heart and not as a duty but as a loving gift, then this is going to be your sparkles. So I think this is what I want to leave it with. I think so. Yeah. This is my advice for you, my lovely ladies. All right. So I think this is all I had to add to this tag. I hope that if you want to add to this tag and pick it up and answer the questions, then please feel free to do so. And if you want, then please tag myself or even also Yehudit, because I'm sure, because she was involved in creating this tag, that she would love to hear your answers too, if you want to. And I'm so excited to hear your answers to all of these questions, or even if you just want to do one or two, or you know, whatever you want, it's totally fine. It's not an obligation, it's just being playful and sharing. So besides that, I just want to mention that if you want to order something from Wrapunzel, I do have a code with Wrapunzel. You find the information in the description box. Besides that, I hope that you have an awesome day. If you're new here, then please subscribe to my channel, and if you're a returning viewer, then I'm so glad you were here. I'm so glad all of you were here. I love you so much. I'm so blessed by you. I thank you for being here and for being so supportive, and go ahead and sparkle. Have a wonderful day, and I see you here for my next video, which is going to be not Rapunzel related, but it's going to be tomorrow. So up until then, hugs and kisses. Love you. Bye.